All right, guys, welcome to the Football First podcast. I'm your host, Greg. I'm with my co-host here, Andy. We're gonna be calling him Candy or Cuzzo throughout the many different episodes that we'll have. That is my cousin, by the way, so that's why we call him Cuzzo. And there's really no explanation behind the Candy. It's just a good nickname. But anyway, we're going to be talking a little bit about the Bengals Jaguars game coming up here in week two. Um, so yeah, let's just get on into it. Bengals versus Jaguars. Both teams, Candy, are 1-0. Bengals beat the Browns 17-16 in a narrow 1 point victory, and the Jags beat the Carolina Panthers 26-10. I just kind of want to start off with some of your thoughts on week one for the Bengals, how they performed, and kind of what you're looking at and looking forward to going into week two for them.
Yeah, I think week one always seems to start out slow for teams. Cincinnati kind of come out, they wanted to play the starters more in preseason to get out to a fast start. I think one of the things is they were a little conservative on their play calling. One thing I did notice is while it's a work in progress, but the defense I thought actually outplayed the offense. The two rookies, Demetrius Knight and Shamar Stewart, they didn't have great games, but they, you know what I mean? I think it was some positive things. All the defense seems to move to the ball, but one of the things I noticed on defense is tackling was an issue. So, while you might hit a guy, you need to wrap up and finish plays.
Yeah,
I don't know.
finish the
I don't know
plays. That's key, and honestly, that's on both sides of the ball, especially on the line of scrimmage. But yeah, finishing plays on defense is such a major factor, especially for this Bengals defense that they straight up stunk last year at tackling. They were terrible. You would think that they would just practice tackling the whole entire time. I don't understand why defensive coordinators don't do that when their teams suck at tackling. Spend at least half an hour tackling. I don't understand that. I mean, they're
Yeah,
pros. They should know how to tackle. And like it
yeah,
might feel like grade school football where, you just work tackling drills all day, but I mean, at some point something's got to give and you got to play fundamental football and take a son of a gun down to the ground. I'm right with you on
yeah,
that. That's a major key for me for this Bengals defense. Obviously, they got a lot of hats to the ball, Candy. I thought it seemed like they
yeah,
were flying around. Like you said, it seemed like they took a step forward. They outplayed the offense. They were flying around. A lot of guys that kind of stunk tackling had a great nose for the ball. I think the biggest one was Jordan Battle. That dude,
yeah,
that dude was flying around and he found the ball constantly. But like you said, the finishing aspect to it is where you know, he kind of stunk. He didn't make a lot of good form tackles, and he doesn't do
yeah.
well bringing guys to the ground.
Yeah, they forced the two turnovers against the Browns, which was big. Battle
Mass-
being one of the guys, and then DJ Turner, if I'm not mistaken, was the other guy.
Yeah,
Um, but one of the keys I think defensively for this week is you got to get off the field on third down. I think that's kind of been our Achilles heel. Um, that's, that's what extends drives, and then you end up getting in field goal range, and all of a sudden you're. So you got to get off the field on third
yeah,
down, and then offensively, I'll piggyback on that, saying one of the keys to that would be extending drives and not setting yourself up for third and long,
yeah, definitely.
and then you're not helping yourself.
I think yeah, in that, I think on the Bengals end, especially offensively, you have to establish the run, which they did a great job of. At least in the very first drive, it seemed like they were running it right down their throats. They seemed to pick up right where they left off last year. Um, and they just kind of started to sputter for whatever reason. They seemed to kind of get like they were playing tighter. The Browns defense was actually playing a little looser, playing a little more aggressive, and they were just taking advantage of what the Bengals kind of were lacking in, whatever that was. As far as the offensive line goes, when it comes to establishing the run, it seemed like they were moving guys pretty well, getting to where they needed to be. But then at the end, they were just kind of getting bullied a little bit. I think, in the second half at least in that football game. And you got to hang tough, especially with a decent Jags D line. You've got oh Lord, I have his name written down. Josh Allen, the other Josh
Yeah,
Allen.
other
That
Josh
dude's
out.
a freaking beast. They've got some stud linebacker. I didn't even write his darn name down, but some stud linebacker. And then number two, whoever that is, his name is Jordan Lewis. That dude was all over the field against the Panthers, and that man plays physical as hell. And he puts his nose into the run game. So we need to have some active eyes on the offensive line, and we need to be physical. We need to start fast at running back, which I believe we can. To me, Candy, that's one of the biggest keys. Is like I said, establishing that run. The biggest key to that, besides the offensive line play, which is always end all be all, is Chase Brown. Just
Yeah,
keep being dynamic. That dude was a freaking playmaker on Sunday.
yeah, yeah. Because I mean, like you said, I mean that first drive in the Cleveland game, they ran the ball great, and I
Yeah,
mean their offense seemed to really hum. When they don't have that nice blend and the play calling gets stagnant, they
yeah,
struggle. So
exactly.
it's this you got to continuity. I mean, it's just you got to keep
Right.
rolling.
And I think it's in the same exact vein as what you're saying. That first little couple drives, they were spreading the ball out a little bit too. And that's just a major key. We'll get to the keys of the game at the end, but one of the major keys is get the ball in your playmakers' hands, man. I
Yeah,
mean, I don't know. I didn't look up how many targets um, Jamar Chase and T. Higgins had, but it didn't seem like many. Um,
no,
yeah, not
and
many receptions there, and it just what'd you say, Candy?
they didn't have 100 yards receiving between the two of them,
Yeah,
and
I
those
mean
are your two linebackers.
you cannot have that.
No, obviously, yeah, we'll hit the keys at the end, but definitely get your ball. And you've heard that watching football your whole life. I mean, get the ball in your players in your
Yeah,
playmakers' hands, and that's against Cleveland's defense. Yeah, Cleveland's defense is one of the better ones in the
they're
league.
tough.
You got an All-Pro defensive end who's I think the best defensive end in the National Football League. So he's going to make plays.
Yeah,
But you're going to, I mean, you got another tough defensive line, like you were saying, coming in. So they're going to have to be ready. It's the home opener, open in orange. So yeah, they need to be pumped up, ready to go. Let's start the season 2-0 and get back to the playoffs.
absolutely love it, man. That's a pretty decent segue kind of into maybe talking about the Jags a little bit. I don't know how much of the film you've seen on the Jags. Probably didn't watch much of the game. I sure didn't, but I went and watched some recaps and looked a little bit up about them. And I'm kind of interested to see what your thoughts are on the Jags, offense and defense, whatever you want to talk about, man.
Yeah, I didn't watch the game. Obviously, looked at the highlights as well. I read they're gonna. Travis Hunter was more offensively utilized against the Panthers. This week they want to add him a little more on defense, so that'll be a nice challenge for Jamar and for T to try to get out there. Um, Offensively, they've got some line issues as well. I think we can get to Lawrence, put some pressure in his face. I'm not too concerned with their receivers, but he's a good quarterback. It's going to be a good test between two great quarterbacks, two first round draft picks. You know, um, Burrow's 3-0 against him, trying to go for 4-0 this week. But I'm anxious to see what Travis Hunter can do, what he can bring to the game. Um, I don't know what your thoughts are, Chewy, but I just don't know about the two-way players. I think eventually he's going to have to pick one or the other.
I mean, if you think about it, in the NFL history, there's not too many of them, at least that you can call off the top of your head as far as great players go. I mean, the one that I can think of lately has been Jabril Peppers. Now, is he great? I don't know what you'd call him. He's a veteran.
Veteran, yeah.
Yeah, and done well enough, and kudos to him for that. But yeah, not nearly. didn't nearly live up to the hype that he had in college, where he was Mister Everything.
Yeah.
Um, and that's kind of similar to Travis Hunter. And like you were saying, they're going to play him more on the defensive side of the ball this week. And I'm really interested to see what he can do. I think they really try to utilize his athletic ability on offense, but I think he more so has a nose for the ball on defense.
Yeah.
That's
I
my
kind of,
opinion.
offensively, seeing what I saw is they like, they like to do a lot of little stuff out of the backfield. They like to hit their running back. Um, they Evan Ingram. They lost Evan Ingram, so he's gone. So I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know what their tight end room looks like, but if you can get some pressure in Lawrence's face, he tends to try to force the ball, and you can get maybe some more turnovers to flip the script and get Joe Burrow back the ball.
Well, Candy, just as we are talking about the Bengals needing to establish the run, it's the exact same on the defensive side. They have to stop the run.
Yeah,
Um, they have Travis Etienne on the Jaguars. That dude is a freak. He is dynamic, he is athletic, he is quick, and he is powerful. I don't know if you saw much of the film. I watched some of the highlights. He was running all over the Panthers from what I could tell. And the offensive line was getting a pretty good push. And he's pretty slippery. I'm pretty worried about that, especially at the way the interior offensive or defensive line rather for the Bengals has been playing since last year. Now they did get T.J. Slayton, who is supposed to be a run stopper. Am I right?
yeah, from
Um,
Green Bay, he is.
let's hope he hangs tough. I mean, he's got to plug the A gap, and we
Yeah,
got to have linebackers filling, man. And like you said, Demetrius Knight, that dude was all over the field
all
on
over the,
Sunday.
all
He
over the
needs to be
field.
doing the same thing this week. And like
Yeah,
you said, we need to wrap up. A guy like that, he will run through arm tackles.
yeah. Obviously it's only one game sample, but I thought stopping the run was a strong point of the defense
Yes,
against Cleveland. Granted, Nick Chubb's no longer there, but
yeah,
still, it was like I said that what what hurts us is not getting off the field on third down.
yep, yeah.
So
That's major. And I'll tell you, yeah, like you said, they've Hunter Long, the tight end over there, is a physical blocker. And I'm a little worried about some of that. They can probably utilize him in some chips or at least some run schemes where I think Travis Etienne will really give him fits. It seemed like that offensive line was getting some good push against the Panthers. Granted, the Panthers kind of suck, but I don't know. They handled them pretty good, 26-10. That's a pretty good margin of victory in the NFL. I mean, even against a
yeah,
crappy team. So they've got weapons, like you said. So that does worry me. They've got definitely enough offensively to beat the Bengals. Um, and another thing I'm worried about, run game wise, is um, actually it is the quarterback. Dude, he ran all over the Buckeyes, if you remember that. And prior
yeah,
to that, it didn't seem like he ever ran at Clemson. I might be lying through my teeth, but from the games I saw, he never really ran that much. And he murdered the Buckeyes in that playoff game, if you remember that. And that was the first time I'd ever really seen him run. So he does have the legs. And if that pocket breaks down and he sees a gap, he might take it. And I think that could hurt us where you're saying where we got to get off the field on third down. That
yes.
might be a factor.
Because historically, mobile quarterbacks playing the Bengals. Obviously, we got a new defensive coordinator, so we'll see what's going on. But in the past, that's running quarterbacks have hurt us. Which I mean, they hurt a lot of people, but for some reason, against the Bengals, that always hurts us. So yeah, like I said, you get to third and short, you got to really be aware of Lawrence's ability to run the ball.
Yep, 100%. All right, man. Well, thanks for giving me your thoughts there on the Jags and kind of run into why do you think the Bengals can win this week?
I think the Bengals will utilize Chase and Higgins more this week. Um, that's it's going to be pumped up in the jungle. It's orange out. Everybody's going to be going. I think they feed off that crowd. I think Burrow has a big. I think Burrow has a big game. He only threw. Threw for less than 200 yards this past week. The Jaguars' defense is good, but they're not the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
And so I think that we get out. I think we establish the run, which helps us open up that passing game. I look for Noah Fant to have another big game, the tight end. And did you want me to say defensively what or
Go ahead, man. Yeah, talk anything that you want. If you think some of the reason why they can win
yeah,
is their defense playing solid, then yeah.
yeah, I mean, I think they can come out and start 2-0. I think defensively they're going to get hats to the ball. I hope that they worked on the tackling this week, and like you
Yep.
said, they need to be aware of Travis Etienne out of the backfield. Also, Trevor's ability to run the ball. But I think another week of practice, one game under his belt. I think Shamar Stewart gets a little more pressure this week. I even think he gets his first NFL sack this weekend.
Okay. Bold prediction. I love it.
I think the corners need to step up this week.
Yes.
Cam Taylor Britt really needs to have a big game this week, and hopefully this is a bounce back against a mediocre team. You know, the front part of our schedule this year is relatively easy.
Yes.
So I think we can get out to a fast start. We missed the playoffs last year because we got off to a slow start.
Yep.
So I think we get it rolling against the Jags this week, and those were my keys.
Yeah. Historically, Bengals under Zach Taylor, slow starts. So 1-0, found a way to win. Let's just do the same thing this week. Find a way to win. What is the way going to be? Is it going to be defense? Is it going to be offense? Is it going to be mostly, a little bit of both? We'll find out. But like you said, we got to put the ball in the playmakers' hands. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, utilize Chase Brown, establish that run, spread the ball out. I look for Jamar to have a huge game. I do.
Yeah.
I look for him to have probably three solid deep balls, a lot of yards, at least one touchdown, and T's going to be utilized like crazy. Yeah, and like you said, once those guys are covered, if they are, hit that tight end. We got a couple decent tight ends that we can utilize. Noah Fant being the one that seems to be what you would consider the favorite. He had a nice game with a touchdown catch in week 1. And yeah, on defense, just start fast, finish plays. Start fast, finish plays. Fly to the ball. Yeah, I think the Bengals have a great shot. Like you said, I would consider the Jags to be a pretty mediocre team, middle of the road NFL team. A lot of talent. That's every NFL team. A lot of talent across the board. But yeah, the Bengals really should not have much of an issue with this team, but they are the Bengals, and we will find out. And there's a reason why they line it up and play the game.
Yeah, that's true.
So why do you think the Bengals could lose, man? Let's be a little pessimistic here. What's some of the reasons why you think the Bengals could lose? Is it because of the Jags? Is it because of the Bengals? What do you think?
Yeah, I think the Bengals could lose for a number of reasons. Not because the Jags are a mediocre team, but just because time management was one thing by Taylor last week that has some room for improvement.
Yeah.
And I think the offensive line, if they struggle against this defensive line, they're going to get some pressure on Burrow. And you may not be able to get down the field to Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. And defensively, if you don't tackle and you don't get off the field on third down, you give these guys another shot, they're going to make it count. This is the NFL.
Yeah.
So, I think, I could easily sit here and tell you they're going to be 2-0. I could easily see them coming out 1-1 as well.
Yeah.
They just, some weeks they come ready to play, other weeks they don't. So
Yep.
It depends on what team shows up. But let's be real. Let's get this your home opener. Let's get out there, get some ass behind us, and let's get a win.
Yep. I'm all over the same exact points, man. I think it starts and ends with the offensive line. If we get some solid offensive line play, some good pass blocking, some push on the run blocking, don't get lazy at the end of the game like it seemed like Orlando Brown got, where he started getting his ass whipped by what the
Miles
heck is his
Garrett.
damn name? Miles Garrett. Yeah, just the best NFL, one of the best NFL players overall. I couldn't remember his damn name, but yeah, you heard his name a lot at the end of the game. Let's keep him quiet. Keep Josh Allen under wraps, and let's just make sure we have a good pass blocking scheme, and we're executing well there. Finish the game. Finish the game. Finish the game, and let's tackle. I think
Yeah,
and linebackers and secondary is the keys on defense. I mean, let's limit the penalties. Although some of those penalties in week one were kind of bullshit in my opinion, but let's limit the penalty yards, execute, and tackle. That's that's the name of the game. And if we can create a turnover, great. Take care of the ball on offense too.
yeah. I mean, let's try to keep up the opportunistic defense. Let's try to get some turnovers each game because the year they went to the Super Bowl, um, it seemed every time they needed a turnover or the
Yeah,
ball to roll their way, the defense got it. So there's talent on that defense. There's no reason they can't come out and perform.
dude, I love that. I love that. Opportunistic. That's exactly the way this defense played on Sunday. And that, like you said, on that run, they seem to be an opportunistic defense as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's score a bunch of points on offense, get a couple turnovers, and get a win. And like you said, it's going to be a raucous crowd. Let's hope everyone's hammered and enjoying themselves. It's going to be a beautiful freaking day in Cincinnati. So,
and
everybody's wearing orange. Let's get after it, man. I hope people are freaking going nuts.
yeah. In fact, it's going to be 87 for the
Yeah,
kickoff temperature. So I mean, yeah, it's a beautiful day. It's going to be hot, but it's a beautiful day to get down there and enjoy the game.
absolutely
Um,
cannot wait, man. Cannot wait.
yeah, I mean, just looking at some of the numbers online, the over unders 49 in this one. They got the Bengals favored by 3.5. Um, Chewy, you want to give a score prediction and who you think is going to win?
I might let you go first on this, man. I might let you go first. I don't know. How about I like 28-17 Bengals.
Yeah, I know this is how you guys will know that we're family because my pick was 27-17
Okay.
Bengals.
Okay.
But 1 point off.
Yeah, I think they blow away the spread. I do. I
Yeah.
think 3.5 is probably too little. I saw them at three maybe today at some point, but you know how it fluctuates. I plan on taking them with the spread. So yeah, I think they beat them by at least 10. We'll see. And as
Yeah,
far
and
as the over
it
under, man, what did I say? 28-17. So
yeah,
we'll see. I'm not much of an over under
44.
guy, but yeah, I don't think it's going to be a complete. It's not going to be like a defensive shutdown battle, but I don't think it's going to be a
Yeah.
shootout either.
No, I don't think so either. Um and this I saw something and it was Zach Taylor's never started 2-0 as a head coach of the Bengals. So let's get him
Yeah,
his first 2-0 and who day.
Who Day, baby. Yeah, I'm jacked up. Now, Candy, let's polish this thing off and let's just end it with the keys of the game, man. What are the keys of the game? How did the Bengals get a win on Sunday?
My keys to the game are establish the run early, get off the field on third down defensively, be smart with the ball, and time management. I think Zach is better this week, and those are my keys.
Love it. Couldn't have said it better myself. I'll surely try though. Um, Keys of the game, right in the same vein as you, turnovers. Can we create one on defense? And can we protect the ball, take care of that ball on offense? Um, can we win the turnover battle? That's the biggest thing. Establish the run and stop the run. Control the line of scrimmage. You'll hear that in basically any game. Control the line of scrimmage in your turnover battle. Get the ball in the playmakers' hands. I mean, we got to spread the ball around. We got to get it into Jamar Chase and T. Higgins' hands. You pay them for a reason, and you pay them handsomely. Let's go ahead and utilize them this week.
Yep.
And in all caps, I can't emphasize this enough. Tackle, finish plays, and tackle get the ball carrier on the damn ground, and stop these guys, stop their drives, and get the ball back in Burrow and company's hands. And
Yeah,
I think we'll come out with a victory. I really am confident in this team, especially early in the year right now. I'm confident in them, and I'm confident that they can overachieve this year. I really think that they're going to beat the predictions of all the talking heads and whoever decides all the bullshit about who wins the AFC North, who wins the AFC, and who makes it to the Super Bowl, all that crap. I think that this is a playoff team, and I think they can make a deep run in the playoffs.
yeah, I agree
So,
with you 100%.
yep. And it all
Um,
starts, I mean, it started last week. Let's keep the train rolling, man.
yeah, I'm excited for Sunday. I'm excited for the rest of the season, and hope to get back to the playoffs this year. And I think we will. Like you said, I got a good
Yep.
feeling.
Sounds good, buddy. Well, appreciate everything, Buzz. And we, yeah, Who Day, brother. I'm just
All
looking
right,
forward
who
to
day?
watching the game.
Hell yeah!
All right, man.
All right, buddy.